Kind of complex, a mixture of somebody who enjoys private time, but also loves connecting with people. So I think, like many of us, we have a mixture of needs, and I've learned how to embrace the parts of myself that make me whole. But I'm complex, like us all. Well, I think we hustled right up till the deadline, which is the nature of all projects. You never have enough time or resources, so you work yourself to the bone. And then I've always enjoyed when we're doing projects, because I've always loved project management. And I think that really is just having someone who's in the middle that can help communicate to the people involved why they're doing something. So I was always loved projects, and one of the, I think, most effective part of projects is a celebration. And so the opening of Fractal was built around a party. And so when you're preparing for a party, you're always making sure all the finishing touches are done. But the scary part of a party is you never know if anyone's going to come. So we'd planned for it and we'd told people about it, but there's that moment that you never know if anyone's going to come. So the day that was the opening, I ran home and got all cleaned up and thought to myself, I don't think anyone's going to come. But when I got back, it was 2 hours before the party started and it was filling up. So there was something that we had created around Fractal that people wanted to know about. And so we were planning on like 100 people and we had 600. So that night was incredible, to have the fear of building something and not knowing whether anyone would really wanted it, to then seeing 5 times as many people. It was one of the greatest nights of my life. The energy was bumping and people were feeding on it, and we did a whole bunch of sales that night, and that was on a Friday. And then on Monday we were open. We had to like get desks figured out and get people set up. So it was amazing, from being terrified to then being open and just having figured out. So it's 2 years ago, and every day's been sort of that crazy unknown, but I've learned how to embrace it and actually kind of enjoy it. Like wake up in the morning and not know what's gonna happen, but just try to put your best foot forward and then go home and go to bed and forget it. And so I don't know if I answered the question, but.
No, it was good. Tell me about the moment that you decided to go all in on Fractal and kind of combine that with like what you were doing before this.
Yeah, I was sort of bored around a pretty safe situation, family that were pretty successful, and so I was pretty sheltered, yet always had this inner need to want to build something that was my own. But that really became a reality one day when I realized I had to do it, and I almost didn't do it. I can remember the day that I'm like, I can't do this, I can't do it. And then I did do it. And from that day forward, I think I was breaking my previous version of myself, the safe, sort of spoiled kid, to this person who had to make it work, which is why I wanted to see what I was made of. And so from that day forward, I became a different person who could sort of accept the scariness of it all and embrace it. And so I don't let fear kind of own me. I just accept that it's part of the craziness of it all. But I kind of like that chaos now. I've learned how to manage the chaos of life and accept it. And I think because of that, I don't sort of absorb stress like I used to, with the worry, the constant storytelling of how everything's going to go wrong. I just try my best every day, and I accept the reality and the consequence of that. People. Vibe and kindness. Well, I always knew that design mattered. I was always aware that the environment had an impact on how we felt. Wasn't wonderful at it, and so for that reason I tried to hire a Toronto design firm to help. So some of this stuff was me hiring people to make up for my insecurity. But started to realize that better at design, I thought, but design will be something that we pursue forever because it's the environment. And so we always want to play with how changing of where a plant goes and a smell and a piece of art and a hot cup of coffee, all those elements affect your mood. So I think that we need to pay more attention to how our environments are designed because they affect how we feel. So I mean, office space has never really cared too much about design, and so we're probably modeled more on a restaurant. Most restaurants care, their vibe matters. Most hotels, and certainly ones that are funky, do. So we're modeled much more on a cool hotel or a restaurant than we are an office. Hi.
Yeah.
I say hi, and then I usually watch their body language to see if they're comfortable or not. If they're uncomfortable, I try to adapt how I come at them. If they look threatened, I don't sort of, I try to adapt around what their needs are, because I think personally I've always been, again, kind of a complex mix, that I wanted my environment to adapt to what I needed. So I really try to pay attention to what they need, and so I watch body language, and then I make a best guess. I usually try to offer them a cup of coffee first, and if they don't want coffee, I get them a tea, and if they don't want that, I get them water. And sometimes people don't want that. That doesn't make them feel comfortable. And then I just adapt the whole time, trying to watch that person and anticipate what they might need, and trying to listen. It's not something I'm wonderful at, but I try to get better at listening and get information from them that then allows us to have a meaningful conversation. I enjoy that. I try to find something that is meaningful to them, and then I try to find meaning in that. And as we're walking together, we're trying to have meaningful conversations. I enjoy it. It's not a strategy. It's I guess, a relationship that I want. I learn a lot from other people, and it's fun. It's fun to try to make that person feel comfortable. And I don't know why I have that in me, but I do. And that's what I do when they walk in. I try to start with hi. It happens every day here. It really does. The memories are all built around people getting some meaning out of something, like feeling connected. It happens every day to see somebody who's having fun, who's engaging with somebody else. I think that's the one that I see the most, is when I connect two people that have never met, and then they become friends, business partners. That is the magic. And I think people that work here need to also enjoy that. They need to enjoy the feeling of making someone's life better. So I see it every day, and it's usually around two people that I have somehow influenced to connect, either through the placement of the coffee machine, an event, the music. The connection that you see when two people meet is it's better than any drug. Well, I think we've seen how being unsatisfied is destructive. So if you can't be satisfied with something today, you probably will maybe live an unfulfilled life. There's unbelievable satisfaction here. I do have a desire to continue to grow because it's, again, fun, pushing myself to a new place and learning, but I am satisfied today. Because I have a wonderful life. You're one of my friends. I have kids. I have partners. I have parents that are alive. I'm pretty satisfied today. And so I think we're starting as a society to realize the people that were unsatisfied is probably an unhealthy part of their brain. They could have been exposed to somebody that was hurtful, and they're trying to prove to the world that they're good enough. You gotta, on some level, be pretty satisfied with yourself today, and then have the future be an exciting possibility. Somebody, I mean, so many smart people here, and somebody said to me the other day, and it was profound, that your future needs to be brighter than your past. And for me, my past has been pretty bright, but the future also holds some pretty exciting things. So I think finding a way to balance being satisfied, but also being super excited about maybe some new things and some growth is is a balance that I believe, sort of found. I'm just really grateful to be here right now. I mean, I met you because of Fractal, and you're helping me do videos, and so yeah, I'm pretty grateful and satisfied today, but pretty excited about doing some other shit too. Well, I think we've started to recognize that work consumes a big part of our life. So to have people aligned with things that they enjoy takes the work feeling out of it. So I hope that people recognize that, sorry for the burp, recognize that work should be meaningful. And there's just a massive amount of society who's not buying the system that was built for us. There was a massive system that now is kind of falling apart. It was already degrading before COVID. It is crumbling. So I think that people that can find work that's meaningful is a pleasure that should be allowed for everybody. And then the office is not a requirement. It should be something that adds to your life, that you don't have to come all the time. You come when you want. That it's a place that gives you choice, because that's the part, we're all a little different. We all have different levels of social need, but nobody in my opinion has zero social need. So to be able to create an environment that is built on choice is really my dream, and then creating variety of spaces, because going to the same place every day, it's a little boring. So I think the vision I have is to be able to create environments all over the world and have them have different intents, so that the office can be something that is an experience that you choose. Well, the pandemic has accelerated a lot of the trends that got me into this business. And that companies have realized that working from home is an effective option. So we're going to just see more demand. And we've had to survive by a lot of different things, some of them being luck. So this year is about stabilization. And then if growth is an option, it will be, is to push the limits in Canada around what an office can look like. So we're really playing with very unique venues. I think there's a possibility that the office should probably be more about socialization, connection, and creativity, not about heads down focus. Most people can find quiet space. They're probably going to come together to connect with others. And I think that culture of companies was kind of a closed door model that said our culture is our company culture, and it was sort of a bunch of people that were trying to define culture. But I think the next version of culture could be surrounding yourself with other companies, with other industries, with other people, that to create a diversity will be an exciting shift in culture. So yeah, I think all these constructs that we are trying to define are now being redefined, and that is, to be involved in that and have a society that's questioning all these things. It's just amazing to think about being able to test environments to see their impact on people. So yeah, it's not gonna just look and feel like an office. It's going to be different. So one of the things that I have been spending time on is understanding what a company's about. There was a previous version that was mostly about making money, and I think it was starting to lose its effectiveness, that you'll work for a company, and if you make a bunch of money, you might be happy for a while, but people are looking for a more fulfilled life. And so we've been studying sort of new models around alternative models from capitalism to what's called stakeholder capitalism. And so we're working on becoming a B Corp. And for me, that's going to allow us to offer our staff a much more enriched life with opportunities to invest in their community, alternative structures around employee ownership, helping the environment heal, just a whole new approach. And so for me, I think I want to be able to talk to future staff about the environment that Fractal could become, and I want it to be, I said something to Marissa the other day, that it's safe but challenging. So I think we have so many things that have happened to us in life that make us threatened. I don't want Fractal to be this threatening space, but I want it to be challenging. So I think if I'm not here, I want the environment to feel safe. So your first day here, I want you to feel included, educated, aware. I want you to watch this video and be able to see that I was a human, a real person that built this company, and I want the company to be human, but I want it to be challenging. And I want whatever role you're in to take it really seriously, because people will notice. If you're in a position, just make sure it's what you like to do, and then do it really, really well. And try to accept that there'll be days that are frustrating, but through effective communication, learning how to articulate how you feel in an effective manner can help us navigate conflict and difficulties, because I want there to be challenge, but I don't want it to be conflict oriented. I don't want aggressiveness, and I want us to find innovative ways to solve problems, but I want it to be safe, because I think organizations need to create some level of safety, but I don't want it to be complacent. So that was really the intent of this video, is to speak to somebody in the future about what Fractal could be, and I want it to be safe but challenging.